All right. Let's chant it together. Bhadram karnevhi shunuyama devaha Bhadram pashyemakshaviryajatraha Chirairangais tuštuvak Vyashema devahitam yadayuhu Sastina indro vriddhashravaha Sastina pusha vishwavedaha Sasti nastarksho arishta nemihi Sasti no brihaspatir dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we are studying Mundaka Upanishad, and the initial question from the student was, what is that knowing which everything else can be known? The teacher said there are two types of knowledge, lower and higher. Lower knowledge through which we do our transaction, our empirical life, we come to know about things around us. All branches of knowledge that we know belong to this apara viddha or lower. And compared to the higher knowledge is that through which that immortal spirit is known. Then the teacher went on to explain, to expand the idea of this lower knowledge and higher knowledge. What are the domains of lower knowledge and what are the domain of higher knowledge? Now, after having dealt with the varieties of the two types of knowledge, lower and higher, now the teacher is concentrating on the higher knowledge called paravidya. At first, the teacher laid out some pointers to that reality called Purusha, the same reality which we in other Upanishads are called Brahman, Akṣara. Here also, it has been called Purusha, Akṣara, Brahma interchangeably. And some pointers have been told to the student. In our last mantras, we saw that what the teacher is now trying to do after giving all the pointers, now the teacher is trying to make the student go deeper. Deeper means not only know the reality through pointers, but the teacher was trying to tell the student, impress upon the student, that it is that same reality which can be realized in the heart, in the cave of our heart. Nihitā guhāyaṃ, in the cave of our heart. That is, it is not something out there. It is also in here. It is inside as well as outside. And that is the central message of the Upanishad, that the highest reality, which is everywhere, is also deep within. So it can be realized everywhere, and also it can be realized in our own deepest being. So we see what the teacher is trying to do is gradually bringing the mind of the student from out there to in here, from out there to in here, inside, deep within. Now, the teacher will do something. Teacher will encourage the student to shoot at it. Shoot at it. That is, make the realization of that reality the goal of life. Goal of life. And in doing so, the teacher compares spiritual journey with the art of archery. Art of archery, where archery, we know, we hit a target with an arrow and with a bow. Similarly, the teacher takes the analogy of illustration of archery and applies the same in the spiritual journey that he is going to lay out for the student. That we shall see in a next few verses. The idea is all about these archery, art of archery. Okay, so let's see. Very interesting part of Mundaka Upanishad, and also it's quite unique. In no other Upanishad we get this idea of archery, bow and arrow. As far as I remember, there may be maybe Brihadaranyaka or Chandogya Upanishad, maybe passing mention of this bow and arrow, but not so much in details, not so much highlighting of the bow and arrow and archery with spiritual journey. We shall see today verse 2.2.2 and 2.2.3. Okay. Yeah. So still in this verse, the teacher gives some pointers, again some pointers, some description to that reality, that spiritual reality, Purusha. Yat arcimad, yat aṇubhya anu cha yasmin lokā nihitā lokinaś cha tad-eva-akṣaraṃ brahma sa prāṇas tadu manaḥ tad etat satyaṃ tad amṛtaṃ tad veddhavyaṃ somya viddhi. Veddhavyaṃ means it is worth shooting at. That which is radiant and subtler than the subtle, in which the worlds and their inhabitants are contained, that is the imperishable Brahman. It is life, speech, and mind. That is the truth. That is the immortal. O dear one, that is to be shot at. So shoot at it. So shoot at it. That is, the teacher is now encouraging the student that make the realization of the spirit, that all-pervading spirit, which is also in your heart. O somya. So we get this word somya now and then in Mundaka Upanishad, in Chandogya Upanishad. Somya is a very interesting word. Somya means dear one. Okay, dear one, or someone who is serene, in their countenance, they are called somya. And also, so the student is very dear to the teacher. So the teacher is encouraging the student to shoot at it. Before that, the teacher says something about the reality. In previous mantra, the teacher said is avhihi. It is radiant or luminous. It is of the nature of light, Can anyone remember? Does anyone remember why that reality is compared with light?
That light makes the things visible, and
No.
the presence of Brahman makes us conscious about everything.
Right. That reality which is in us, because of that, everything is known. We gave the example that There may be many things around us, but if we don't look at them or don't touch at them, not necessarily we are learning about them, you know. So we have to look at them. That means sense organs are important for knowledge. But sometimes sense organs are pointed, but mind is absent. We call it vacant loop, right? Vacant loop. Or we are hearing something is going on, but mind is somewhere else. That means not only sense organs are needed, but mind also needed to be present there. But even the Upanishad Vedanta, if you remember, even Keno Upanishad, that even mind needs the light of consciousness to be aware of something, aware of something. It itself is not enough. The example is in a dream. When we are dreaming, there is no external light, but we are still seeing everything in color, in light. We are hearing words and all of it. So where this light is coming from? So it is eternal. That is, it is more fundamental than mind itself. That is why it is called light. In the previous verse, it was called abhihi. Abhihi. Abhihi means which is of the nature of light, consciousness. And here in this mantra, it is being called as arcimad. Same meaning, arcimad. Archi means light, radiant. Arcimad, which is full of light, that is radiant. Arcimad. Then aṇubhya anu. Aṇubhya anu. Anu means very small, small. And but it is, the verse says it is smaller even than atom. Anu means atom. It is smaller than atom. What does it mean? It is smaller than atom. In this reality, this Purusha, is it smaller than atom?
Very
What?
subtle.
Yes, subtle. Yes, exactly. It is not in size, okay? It is not in size. It is subtle. Subtle. That's why Katha Upanishad says, Anoho aniyan mahoto mahiyan. It is smaller than atom, but larger than the largest. Paradox. It's paradox that it is something is smaller than atom, but even larger than the largest thing we may know. That means it is not in size. It is not about size. It is all about its subtlety. Subtlety. So when it says it is aṇubhya anu, it is not smaller than atom, but it is subtler, even subtle than the subtle. Right. Shankaracharya says this, that it is subtle like Anu, but not small like Anu. And he also quotes Shankaracharya, Katha Upanishad, that which is smaller than atom, larger than the largest. Anoraniyan, mahoto mahiyan. These two together, something smaller than the smallest, larger than the largest, is only possible if it is all pervading, if it is everywhere. And that is, it is subtle. That means it is beyond the grasp of the five sense organs. Beyond the grasp of five subtle sense organs. That is what we call subtle, which is beyond the grasp of our five physical sense organs. That is subtle. Anuhu anubhyo. So that same reality which is subtly present in us is also everywhere. It is present in us subtly. That is, it cannot be touched. Atma cannot be touched. Atma can be felt. Atma or that spiritual reality can only be felt. It cannot be seen as we understand. It cannot be heard as we understand hearing as it is. It can only be felt. It is in us, so also everywhere. Then, yasmin lokā nihitā lokinaś, in which the worlds and their inhabitants are contained. That is, in which all the 14 worlds and their inhabitants are contained. So one thing we have to understand here is the meaning is not like this. When we say that this pen is on the table, this pen is on table. This, what the mantra is telling, it is not like that, that all the 14 worlds are situated or standing on Purusha. It is more like what? The analogy will be more like wave and ocean. Okay. The waves are nothing but from the ocean itself. In the same way, these 14 worlds and whatever creatures, beings live, inhabit in these 14 lokas, they are non-different from that reality. It is not that that reality, Purusha, is something and upon which all these things are existing. As table is a different thing and pen is a different thing, the pen is existing on the table, not in that sense. Two things, the 14 worlds and Purusha here and 14 worlds are here. No, it is all the 14 worlds and all the things that are contained in these 14 worlds, they are nothing but the Purusha itself, manifestation of the Purusha. Just as the same ocean appears as different waves, bubbles, and different names. So that analogy is more suitable here. When we say that the 14 worlds and their inhabitants are nihitā, are contained. Nihitā is contained or exist in that, but not in the sense of something existing on something, but in the sense of that Purusha is appearing as these 14 worlds. You remember the previous section? Very in detail, they laid out how everything has come from that Purusha. That is, Purusha has become everything. Okay, Purusha has become. And why 14? Why 14? Can anyone answer this question? Why 14?
Seven uppers, seven lower.
Yeah, 7 upper, 7 lower. But why 14? There's no way of knowing. No way of knowing. Okay. So it is the convention, and Upanishad mentions 14 lokas. So we have to take it as 14 lokas, 7 higher regions and 7 lower regions. Okay. In the 7 higher regions, is the lowest one is our earth. Okay, bhuhu, bhuhu. And just above that is bhuvaha. Okay. And above that is saha, bhur bhuva saha, then satto tapo and all other things. So why 14? Nobody knows. It is the utterance of the Upanishad. Maybe the seers saw 14 parallel universes or whatever, 14 parallel lokas, spheres of existence. Okay.
Swamiji,
Yes.
I remember vaguely reading in Bhagavatam about the 14 words, and the way Bhagavatam describes its different levels of learning and experiences in different worlds. And different deities are the principle of these different worlds also. The highest is the Brahma, where
Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka.
Brahmaloka, and Brahmadev is the teacher. So that's how the Bhagavatam describes. Is
Yeah.
some lokas are mainly principle is bhakti, like Goloka, bhakti. So different level of spiritual experiences.
Right, right. Yeah, there is also this idea that these 14 lokas are not literally one above the other. Okay, it is coexisting depending upon which level of awareness, or at which level of human evolution, you may say, or at which level of our psychic evolution we are in. So the same human being can behave like beast, sometime animals. Okay, in that case, the mental world that they are living in, or the world they are living in, can be an inferior world than human world. Okay, that is also another way of explaining that. So 14 loka, whatever it is, 14 lokas, all are manifestation of the one reality. Okay, that we have to remember again and again whenever Upanishad is telling that all of this exist in Purusha. It does not mean in the sense of that Purusha is one reality and rest of the things are existing, just like the pen, the paper clip, the book are existing on the table. They are not. It is the just water as appearing as wave. In the same way, everything exists in that Purusha. That is one thing. Then tad-etat. This is very interesting word. That etat. So these two pronouns, tat and etat. Tat is used to mean that which is far. Okay, tat. And etat is this. That is this. Okay. So the teacher is pointing to the student that whatever we are talking about, that Purusha, that in it everything exists, it is of the nature of light. That reality is this. That is here itself. That is in you. That is in you. That etat. Whatever there is, it is here in you. Tat-tamasi, that we have heard. Tat, you, tam, tat, that, tam, you are. You are that. So never think that all these descriptions, which are at cosmic level, where everything exists, 14 world exists, it is not different from you. Tat etat, that is here. What is there is here, which is also in your very heart, very significant. That consciousness which is there is also the same consciousness is in you here. Essentially, the you and Purusha are both same. Essentially, in essence, both are fundamentally that Sat and Chit and Anand, consciousness and awareness and of the knowledge of type of bliss, peace or bliss. And aksharam brahma, that is aksharam and brahma. Aksharam means imperishable, eternal, which does not change with time. And brahma is which is vast. So if you look at aksharam, means it is limitless in time, limitless in time. In temporal scale, it is limitless. It is beyond time. It exists all the time. And Brahma, vast, it is unlimited in space. One is unlimited time-wise, another is unlimited space-wise. Akṣaraṃ, Brahma. Akṣara that does not change with time, Brahma, which is everywhere. So both are unlimited. One is temporally unlimited, one is spatially unlimited. Okay, that is why these two words have been used. And again, the mantra goes back and forth about the cosmic as well as the individual. So now it says that same timeless, that unlimited entity is also our own life, our own speech, and our own mind. Sa prāṇas tadu tat manaḥ. So Purusha in the form of consciousness is energizing our mind, our life force, and all our senses, starting from Vak, speech, or eyes, or hearing, everything. Beyond all of this, behind all of this, it is all of these are possible only because of that Purusha. So Tat, that same reality, which is time-wise infinite, space-wise infinite, is also our speech, our mind, our vital energy. In the Kena Upanishad, if you remember, Kena Upanishad started with this question, that what is that which drives the mind, drives our life force? What is that drives all the sense organs? And the answer was, which is the mind of the mind, the energy of the energy, eye of the eyes. That is that reality. Here, the same reality is being spoken about in the through the process of paravidya, the higher knowledge. And here, the emphasis is that reality by knowing which everything else can be known. The idea is, look at, that different Upanishads are approaching the same truth, but in different ways. So far we have studied or have been studying 4 Upanishads, right? 3 Upanishads we have completed: Isha Upanishad, Kena, Mandukya, and here Mundaka. And look at the core message. The core message is same, that there is an infinite reality, vast reality, and that vast reality is our nature. It is not different from us. Okay. So Isha Upanishad, it said that reality has to be seen everywhere. Everywhere. Ishāvaśyam jagat sarvam. That is everywhere. Everywhere means it is in me, in you. Okay. That is, it is within me. Then Kena Upanishad started with what, by whom these eyes, the sense organs are functioning, because of whom our mind is going to different places and thinking, and because of whom our vital energies are functioning. So there the emphasis was that the individual level, whatever we are seeing, working, functioning through, it is because of that reality. Then Mandukya, the paradigm was our 3 levels of existence: our sleep state, our waking state, our dream and sleep, dreamless sleep. Okay, that was the method. But ultimately, the core message was that reality is present in all the stages and also goes beyond all the stages. So that reality is infinite. It cannot be pointed out by this or that. And so everything is manifestation of that reality. And here Mundaka, the approach has been through that by knowing which everything else can be known. That same reality, if we realize it, if we know it, so-called know it, then everything else can be known in the sense of the essence of everything can be known. Essence of everything can be known. See the same message, how Upanishad to Upanishad, the approach is different. They give the example that a mom wants to feed the kid boiled eggs. Okay, boiled eggs. So what she has done, she has brought a few boiled eggs and giving one boiled egg at a time. And the kid, the nature of that kid is, it does not want to eat anything in full. It will only bite a bit and throw the other things away. So the mom is giving one egg, the baby is biting little bit and throwing the rest of it. Then the mom is giving another egg. Okay, you eat little bit of it. The baby is biting it and throwing rest of it. In the same way, Upanishad is presenting the same nutrition, okay, but in different ways. In different ways. Okay, what is appealing to you? Your three states, what is appealing to you? You want to know that thing by knowing everything can be known? Or what is more appealing to you? Seeing yourself in everybody, oneness with everyone. So Isha Upanishad, okay. Ishadhyanananda Jagat Sarvam. The same message in different ways Upanishad is trying to place before us. Hi Rick, you have a question?
Hi, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So in one Upanishad, you keep talking tonight. You keep talking about that reality. That reality. Okay. So one of the Upanishads says, "This is that. That is that. Or this is that." So the same that you're referring to tonight is that, right? This is that. That is that. Or this is that. But then, doesn't Brahma and Purusha and Prakriti, don't those levels of authority have attributes? Am I off?
Oh, no, you are on. I was off. Yes, go ahead. Attributes then.
That's all. Don't they have attributes? Brahma has attributes. It is Brahma is the Brahma is the all-encompassing
reality, entity.
Reality. No. The all-encompassing reality is that reality, the one beyond Brahma, the one beyond Purusha, the one beyond Prakriti. So when you get to Brahma, it has attributes. And when you get to Purusha, I've heard Purusha referred to as the commander-in-chief. I've heard that way of something. But that gives it attributes. That gives it almost relative attributes. So this reality that you refer to, that one, this is the that all things are soaking in. And then Purusha is a boat floating on that ocean. And Prakriti is a boat floating on that ocean. And even Brahma is the whole flotilla of boats. So, so do I have a good picture or no?
No, you don't have. Because because the attributes of Brahma are for the sake of thinking about. They are pointers. Okay. And ultimately, Brahman or Purusha, they don't have any attributes. They are beyond all the attributes. But in that case, there cannot be any discussion, any discourse, any conversation about that reality. So all the attributes that we are reading, hearing, that it is everywhere, it is infinite, these are also in highest analysis to be truthful. These are also attributes, and they also fall short from that highest reality. But in its own, Brahma or Purusha does not have these attributes at all. Attributes at all. Okay. Have you got it? Rest of
I
the
hear you.
Yes, Prakriti and all, these are all have attributes, but Brahman does not have any attribute. Yes,
Maharaj,
Brahman has attributes only in our minds as useful description. Brahman in experience has no attributes. This is semantics only. Right. Thanks, Victoria, for writing that. So all these attributes are for our sake, for our understanding. Okay. For our
Maharaj,
understanding.
is that Nirgun and Sagun? So Sagun Brahman has attributes.
Yes, yes. Sagun and Nirgun. So, figure of speech. Brahman, if there is only one reality called Brahman, then why again Sagun and Nirgun? Okay. So Nirgun, reality that Brahman is beyond speech. If you remember Mandukya Upanishad, 7th mantra of Mandukya Upanishad, that it is neither consciousness nor unconscious. It is neither aware of outside world nor inside world. All of this, or everything, it is absent of everything. Then, even in Mundaka Upanishad, it was said that it is tasteless, it is orderless, means all the attributes are absent in it. Then, but then how should we proceed? How should we proceed? We proceed with some pointers, so that ultimately we understand that these are all pointers only. These are pointers only. The reality is beyond the pointers even. Okay. But these are useful pointers. Useful pointers, because Brahma Purusha is not limited, as we know every limited thing. Okay. That is why it is being all the time being called vast. And everything we know will decay with time. But Brahma, to make a separate, to make a distinction between Brahma and rest of the things that we are aware of, it is being said that it is immortal. Nothing we know in our day-to-day life, which we call, can really immortal. So to point our mind towards something which is unlike any other thing, that is the purpose of using all the attributes. Okay. But ultimately, it is beyond all the attributes. Okay. All right. Then tad-etat, tad-amṛtaṃ, that Purusha is immortality. Death belongs to body. Once we discover this spiritual dimension, we realize that this real I, my true I, is not going to die. It's a discovery. It's a realization. So it is called immortal, amṛtaṃ. That we have such a conviction that I am not this perishable body alone. There is something in me which is indestructible. So that will remain no matter whether my body remains or not. It is amṛtaṃ, sa amṛtaṃ. Then finally, tad-bhāva-gatena somya viddhi. That is your goal to hit. That is veddhavyaṃ. It is worth shooting at. Worth shooting at, like an archery. The archer, the goal is to shoot the target. So it is veddhavyaṃ. It is to be shot at. Shot at means here figuratively, aim it means you have to fix your mind on it. Veddhavyaṃ means fixing your mind on it. Okay. As an archer, when they want to shoot at the target, they have to concentrate on the target. Give their mind totally, in totality, to that target. Similarly, here, to realize that reality, you have to focus your mind on that reality. Next mantra will tell us that what kind of mind? A mind which has been sharpened. The mind is the example of the arrow. Mind is the arrow that has to hit the target. The target is Purusha. Okay. And this mind, like an arrow, has to be sharpened. How to sharpen it? Next mantra will say through the help of upāsāna, through meditation. Meditation will make the mind sharp, so that it can hit. It can hit. If it is not sharp, what will happen? It can hit, but it will not remain stuck there. It will immediately also fall back, fall down. If the arrow is not sharp, it will hit the target, but it will not remain there. You will touch it, fall down. But if the mind is sharp, if the arrow is sharp, it will hit the target and also remain there. Figuratively, just for the analogy. So the next mantra will say that a mind which is sharpened through upāsana, meditation, that with that kind of mind, aim at this target. Okay. So make it your highest goal. Somya, oh dear one, viddhi. Shoot it, aim for it, go for it. So realizing that Purusha as my true self is the only goal worth pursuing. That is, the teacher is encouraging the student to take this journey, aim at the Purusha as the target. All right. Any question? Okay. So I don't know. Should I go to the next mantra? Next mantra? Okay. All right. So today is the last class before summer vacation. Okay, let's do that. So the point of this mantra was, again, to summarize, a few pointer to that reality, and that reality which is the support of all, which has become all, is also can be realized in our own heart. And that is a target. Realization is the target. Realization of that reality is a target which is worth having. So go for it. And now the teacher will bring the further to take this analogy of archery further. Okay, let's see that mantra. How to shoot the target. dhanurgṛhītva aupaniṣadaṃ mahāstraṃ śaraṃ hi upāsāniśitaṃ sam dhayita ayamya tad-bhāva-gatena cetasa lakṣam tad-eva-akṣaraṃ somya viddhi. Having taken the bow, the great weapon from the Upanishads, and having fixed the arrow sharpened through meditation, draw it back. With the mind absorbed in that state, dear one, shoot at the target, which is indeed the imperishable. Which is indeed the imperishable. So he is now going even further. So spiritual pursuit is compared to archery. This mantra 3 and further will be in the 4. Arrow hitting a target with the help of a bow, that is archery, and our entire spiritual life is now compared to the process of archery. So our individual mind is compared to arrow. Our mind is compared to arrow. Okay. Our mind is compared to arrow. And this mind has to realize, that Purusha, infinite reality. So target is Purusha. Okay, the bull's eye is the Purusha. And the mind is the arrow. Now we need one more thing, right? Something to hit the arrow with, or something that will propel the arrow towards the target. What is that? This mantra is telling that bow, that bow is the great weapon. And that bow will be supplied by Upanishad. Upanishadaṃ. That great weapon which will help our mind to fix on that spiritual reality. That great weapon, the bow, will be supplied by Upanishad. And the next mantra will say that what is that bow? That bow is pranava. That Om. Om is the bow. Okay. As it were, our mind has to be placed on Om, and the Om will propel the mind towards that highest reality. Okay. That the bow is Om will be spoken of in the next verse. This verse does not say what the bow is. This verse only says that the bow is a great weapon which is aupaniṣadaṃ, which can be found in the Upanishad. So Om, again, the beauty of Om will come, which we found. Om we found where? In Mundaka. Mundaka we found Om. Here Om will again come. Just the Purusha is compared to target and the Om is compared to bow. So with the help of Om, our own mind will touch Purusha, reach Purusha. And here a few things we have to remember, that in the case of archery, what is holding back the arrow to hit the target? What is holding back? The distance, right? The distance. But in our case, in our spiritual journey, there is no such physical distance. Okay, no physical distance. That we have to remember. So what is the distance here? What is holding us back? What is holding back the arrow to hit the Purusha?
Our ignorance.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, our non-recognition. Because we are already that, but we are not able to recognize that. This is the distance we have to travel. This is the distance, both indicator and the implement, both. Yes, yes, yeah. Okay, so that we have to remember here. The distance, not time distance, not physical distance. It is what is holding is non-recognition or agyana, avidya. And it is just like I am searching for my key, car key, but it was all the time in my nearest to me, in my pocket alone, but I was not able to find it. Or it was in my purse, but I could not find it. So there was no distance as such between me and the car key. Only I was unaware of the fact that the car key was always here. I was just not looking at it properly. Once I have looked at it properly, then we understand immediately that I did not have to travel anywhere to find the key. Maybe I walked several times inside my room, from door to door, from room to room, but could not find the key. All the while the key was with me. In the same way, that highest reality is not somewhere we have to go to, or in time we have to travel, but it is the promise of the Upanishad, which is a great promise, which is such a message of hope that it is already here. Only if we can look at it the way it should be looked at, then we'll find it was always there, and just like the key, we are looking for it at wrong place. Okay, so that is the distance we have to travel. The distance here is, then how to travel this distance? With the help of what? Paravidya. Paravidya. So we have to connect Paravidya here. The Upanishadam weapon is nothing but Paravidya, with the help of the central message of the Upanishad. Central message of the Upanishad, that is, in the next verse it will be said as Om. So Om is the bow. Om is the essence of the Paravidya. Om is the essence of the higher knowledge. Through that alone, that highest reality will be known. Okay? And dhanurgṛhītva, having taken the bow, the great weapon from the Upanishad, the Upanishadic teaching. And what is the teaching? In the next verse, it will be said that that teaching is nothing but the mantra Om. Om itself will help us to reach the goal. And what is the arrow? My own mind. My own mind. And this mind has to be upāsāniśitaṃ. Before shooting the arrow, make sure that the arrow is sharpened. Sharp. How to sharpen? Upāsāniśitaṃ. Nishitam means sharpened. Upasa means through the help of upasana. What is upasana? Meditation. Meditation. So, and fix it on the target. Fix it on the target. How? tad-bhāva-gatena cetasa. With a mind absorbed in the thought of Brahman. With mind absorbed in the thought of Brahman. And before that, the mantra said something interesting. It said that first place the arrow on the bow, okay, which in the language of archery it is called knocking. Knocking. Knocking means just placing the arrow. Placing. Then draw it back. Draw it back. That is the word I am. I am. Okay, I am. Have you heard the word I am? Sounds familiar? Sounds familiar, the word I am?
I am Atma Brahman.
That is I am. I am.
Aim.
Aim, I am. Okay. Anything? Say, have you heard the word I am with some other word? Okay, pranayam. Pranayama, you have heard. Ayama there means what? Control. Control of prana. Okay. Prana, try to control the prana. Here ayama is withdraw. Okay. Withdraw. Draw the string of the bow. Okay. And what does it mean? Shankaracharya says that is here, before shooting the target, what we need to do is we have to withdraw our sense organs and mind from everything else. Everything else. So first mind, the mind has been sharpened through the habit of meditation. Okay, a sharp mind, a sharp mind. Secondly, it has to be placed on omkara. And when placing on the omkara, then you have to draw it. Drawing means what? If you look at it, physically, when you are drawing an arrow, it is kind of withdrawing, taking it, back from. So it's comparable to withdrawing our mind from external objects, or we may call it shama, okay, shama, that withdrawal of the mind from all the external objects. Then viddhi, then fix it on the target, and tad-bhāva-gatena cetasa. Cetasa means a mind. Cetasa, mind. Tad-bhāva-gatena. Very interesting. Tad-bhava means attitude. Tad-bhāva-gatena. And mind, a mind which is absorbed in the thought of the Purusha. So many things have been told only in a few words, that Om is the bow. Our mind is the arrow. And the target is what? That Purusha, highest reality. The target, when we are meaning, that is, the mind has to become one with Purusha. Mind has to become one with Purusha. As the arrow goes, hit the target and becomes kind of one with the target, so also mind has to not only touch that reality, but has to remain in that reality. So for doing that, what we have to do? We have to prepare the arrow. The arrow has to be sharpened. How we sharpen the arrow? We sharpen the arrow by practice of meditation, upāsāniśitaṃ. So anything we do, any ritual, any religious activities, whatever we do, these are all part of sharpening the mind. Okay. Now, put such an arrow on the bow. Okay. On the bow, then pull back the string of the bow. It is comparable to withdrawing our mind from everything else. Everything else. Then what? Then our mind, bhava, tad-bhāva-gatena cetasa. Then the mind which has only that spiritual reality as its only goal. Everything else is fallen back. So see here what Sri Ramakrishna said, that both are needed. He said that Vishaye virag, Ishare anurag, that a spiritual aspirant, for success, two things are needed. One is withdrawing from rest of the things. But that alone is not enough. I have withdrawn from everything else. So what? It is valuable only when, after withdrawing from everything else, I am given this mind to something higher. Okay. And this mantra is telling that withdraw the mind from everything else, but then fix it on tad-bhāva-gatena cetasa, a mind which is imbued. So the more important, I think, correct expression will be a mind which is imbued with the thought of that spiritual reality. Imbued with that thought of spiritual reality, with such an absorbed mind, oh dear one, somya should viddhi, the target, lakṣaṃ. What is the target? One and only Purusha, tad-eva-akṣaraṃ. One and only akṣara, imperishable Purusha, that is the target. With such a mind which has been sharpened by meditation, which has been withdrawn from everything else, and which is imbued with the idea of that highest reality, with such a mind, oh somya, oh dear one, oh my student, dear student, now shoot at it. Okay, go for it, aim for it, hit at it. Okay. More about this will be spoken about in the next few mantras, which we shall see after our summer vacation. So our next class will be on September 6th, long vacation. Okay, September 6th, Friday, that will be our next class. In the meantime, what I would suggest you, go through the mantras, and try to have a very clear picture about the Mundaka Upanishad itself. What you can do is, at the very beginning, I supplied you an overview of the issue Upanishad. Overview, 2-page overview. Take that overview and now go through the mantras. Take the overview and go through the mantras individually. And do you find that the overview did any justice to the Upanishads as when they unfolded? The overview and the real picture, are they matching, or the overview needs to be even adjusted? Okay, because I am feeling, when I made the overview, I went through all the mantras fast, and then slowly, one by one, that this overview probably needs some fine tuning. So that I need your help in doing that. Okay, so in that overview, either you type or write in your hands whether any further modification can be done up to the mantras we have studied so far. Okay, we have studied first chapter of first Mundaka, second chapter of second Mundaka, then first chapter of the second Mundaka, and 3 mantras of the second chapter of the second Mundaka. So far, do you think that the overview does justice to the Upanishad, or if not, how can we modify the overview? Okay, so that will be the homework for the summer vacation. So it will be an opportunity to go through the mantras, recap the mantras, and compare them vis-a-vis with the overview of the Upanishad. Okay. So with this, let's conclude. If you have any question, go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, Maharaj, in the last mantra, the Om is the bow, but Om also represents Brahman.
Yes.
So, in what context is Om used here?
Okay, so Om is Brahma. Om is the bow. It has not been said in this mantra yet. It will be said in the next mantra. Okay. So your question about how Om can both be the bow at the same time, the target itself, that we shall see in our next class after the summer vacation. Hold on to that, your curiosity. Yes, summer recess. Yeah, all of you also enjoy the summer recess as much as you can, and remaining safe. Okay. In this during this summer, I will be visiting. From this for the next week, I will be visiting St. Louis, Chicago, and Michigan. And in August, I will be visiting again 7 days in Calgary, Canada, Lake Jasper. There we shall have three-day retreat by camping by the Jasper Lake. And it's a challenging retreat with age group from 5 to 70. And I have to engage them all through 3 days. And then I'll be going to Seattle to give another retreat. So I'll be traveling a bit, and you also probably will be traveling. So see you on September 6th, and some of you probably will come tomorrow for Swami Ishadhyananda's retreat. Yeah, so see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay. Safe travels. Okay. Let's say Shanti, Shanti, Shanti,
Thank you,
and
Swamiji.
yeah, and conclude.
Thank you,
Okay.
Swami, for everything you've taught us. It's been very uplifting. Thank you very much, and we'll see you September 6th.
Thank you. But also,
Yeah.
but you have to do the homework, which
Yes,
I gave you. Please,
I will.
Please do the homework.
all
Everybody.
will.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Pranam.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's do Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Okay. Okay. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.